Hey guys, I'm Rylan Grizzard, and this is going to be the start of my channel showing you how to make a list of different of popular foreign desserts from different countries around the world. Today we're going to be making churros. So the first thing we need to do is get a pan of any kind. It doesn't really matter. Next up, so what we're going to do, we're going to get 2 tablespoons of sugar first up. So let's go ahead and grab this. And then just as you grab all this, it's all gonna automatically just go into the pan. So over here, just take all your ingredients, pour it into the pot. So next up we need a 4th tablespoon salt. Where's the salt? Okay, so next up we're gonna do a 1/4 tablespoon salt. So just very carefully, if you ever have like one of these cans of salt, just pour it in like that. Then bring it into the pan. Next up, we're going to be doing a fourth teaspoon, not tablespoon, a 4th teaspoon of cinnamon, which would be this right here. Then next up we're going to go ahead and just add in our cup of water. That's what it currently looks like. Next up we're going to add in 8 tablespoons of butter, which would be an entire stick. So just open up your butter, just open this up and you should just be able to push it out like that into the pan. And now, last but not least, we're just going to add in a quick splash of vanilla. So we're just going to take this teaspoon right here, take your vanilla, and then we're going to fill this up to just about half. That should be enough for a splash because vanilla is extremely strong and we definitely don't want to have too much of it. So just over your pan, do about half a teaspoon right there, and then just pour it in. Next up, and then once you have all your ingredients in, we're just gonna go ahead and just turn this on right here. And now we're just gonna leave this here until it goes up into a boil. All right, so now, since it has now come to a boil, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and just take this off the heat. I do need a minute, real quick. Guys, this gets heated up for something else, so we're gonna go ahead and take this off the heat over here. And now we're gonna mix in 1 1/4 cup flour. So I already got this one ahead of time. So I'm gonna take this, just toss it in. Very carefully, try not to make it too much of a mess. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab that 4th cup. So one of the best ways to scoop flour is just to take a knife like this, a butter knife, get the flat side of course, and then just scrape across like that. That way you just get a nice even cup. Not too much, not too little. Just take that, toss it in. And now we're just gonna go ahead and just stir this around until it's evenly combined with everything else. And don't do that, what I just did right there. All right, so now you can see the consistency just kind of change up as it mixes in with the flour. It's a lot harder. It's more of like a dough kind of thing. So now that it's mixed up like this, we're gonna sit here, we're just gonna let it sit for about 5 to 7 minutes. All right, so now that it's cooled off for about 5 minutes, we're gonna now fold in 3 eggs one at a time. So just for me, just so I don't get any shelling, I'm gonna go ahead and just crack this little bowl over here. Just give it a nice light crack. Then you set your shell aside for a minute. And now, pour it in. Then all we're gonna do here is just take this and then just kind of fold it in and just mix it into the dough. Yep. All right, so our first egg is now combined, so now we're just gonna go ahead and add in our second one. Now we're gonna do that long stirring process all over again. That's egg number 2. Now we just have the one left. So once again, for the last time, just lightly crack your egg into the bowl. Then just pour it in. Alright, so once you mix it in, you will get mostly, I mean, you shouldn't be seeing a whole lot of the egg anymore. It should just be more of this dry, pasty consistency like this. So now, next what we're gonna do is, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this bag right here, a piping bag, make sure you also have your tip, so then you can actually produce the churro. We're gonna take all that and we're gonna transfer this into the piping bag. If you have one of these at home, they're very useful. It's a little stand that holds the bag for you. So this, if you have one of these, it definitely makes your job, or just honestly any process in the kitchen, a lot easier for you.
Maybe not for you.
Okay, so now that we have our dough all into our piping bag and ready to fry, the next thing that we need to do is measure 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. It's gonna take a minute. Is this thing on? All right, yeah. So now that we have the 1.5 cups, we'll pour it back into the bowl, or pan, whatever it is. All right. Now we need to heat this up until it gets up to about 350 degrees. All right, so we're just gonna kind of squeeze them in like this. And then, once you have a length that you desire, all you need to do is just cut it like that. There you go. So we're just gonna keep on doing this. Just cut it each time for whichever length that you desire. Now you just let them fry up until they're golden brown. So these are the churros. This is the batch of churros that we made, and actually, even after this, there is still a ton of dough left. This one recipe makes a ton of churros, just depending on how long you cut them. So you can either get yourself these, which personally, I think these are pretty good. These are awesome. Or you can go to Aldi and get yourself these. I would do this. This took me probably about 15-20 minutes. And honestly, I would say it's completely worth it. You have to eat them while they're fresh though. Otherwise, they're not gonna taste as good as they are now.